A dyma ni yn pontio 15 mis ar ôl i fod yma mis Mawrth flwyddyn ddiwetha. Da ni yma am wythnos yn ei gwaith ymchwil a datblygu ar sioe newydd gen i ar y creigiau Geirwan. So here we are, it's a week's research and development, and Kate Lawrence has been going through the actors about trying to do some rope work, because obviously we're trying to pretend that we are going up mountains and climbing and various other events that happen in those days. We're looking forward to a whole week and see what happens. It is a research project, and we want to see if the script that I've got is working. We've also got two fantastic musicians, Cassie Wynne and Patrick Rhines, who will be creating the atmosphere and some of the songs that will be part of the whole show. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going through a script to see if there are any sounds that we need. I know we've got a hymn, so basically I'm putting sounds in and then edit points so we can fade out. So it's so if they want me to fade out, I fade out. Yeah. So basically we've got Patrick who's doing the music. He's got I need to set up 5 channels for him because he's got a piano, a fiddle. Once they're finished in the other room, I'll be setting up that. But in the meantime, need to find some wind effects, some creepy music, and then it'll be down to the director then if he likes what I filmed. If he doesn't like it, I'll have to go looking again. Ar ben wyth a fawr, fe gewch olygfa glos. Ar ben wyth a fawr, fe gewch olygfa glos. Ar ben wyth a fawr, fe gewch olygfa glos yng nghanol dydd, a hefyd yn y nos. Dewch ar y tren bach, o ben wyth a fawr, dewch ar y tren bach. Because they've not been used for ages. What happens is, until you weight them, they don't stretch. If you look now, see how much I sink. And the more I weight it, the less it will stretch then. This lever comes all the way around. Okay. And you'll see it creates. So when it's low, that
Get down. So this morning I wanted to recap what we did yesterday, which was hanging on a static line, in the harnesses, and doing a little sequence that is all about finding stability and also moving through space. So we do a bit of swinging, we do a bit of running in a circle and swinging in a circle. Good. Feet together. Yeah. And then you're going to put it over your shoulder. And it's amazing how much better it is today than yesterday. Everybody looks more comfortable, although they're a little sore. And then I introduced something new, which threw the cat among the pigeons, which is climbing up a rope. So I didn't expect them to get that immediately. I think tomorrow they'll be much happier with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got to really push down that foot. And you might want to push the foot back a little bit.
I'm Patrick Grimes. I'm a fiddle player, pianist, composer from Bethesda in North Wales. It's very nice for me to be involved in something which is so closely linked to the mountains and mountaineering, because that was a big part of my childhood growing up in Eryri. It's also nice to be working with Cassie, who was a school friend of mine, and we were in the same class and did music and French. I think we did basically all of our classes together in Cwmni, just up the road from here. We've kind of gone in our separate ways and done all sorts of musical things in the last, 15 years since leaving school? No, not quite that much. So yeah, it's lovely to be back working together. I was invited to be part of this project by a good friend and colleague called Stephen Rees, who is a fiddle player and a sort of an academic on all kinds of things, but particularly Welsh traditional music. He's worked with Wyn on a number of projects in the past. He kindly invited me to come along and take part in this research and development. I didn't know an awful lot about the piece and about the whole project before turning up yesterday, but I'm enjoying myself immensely so far.
First Triopholita.
It's very rehearsal sort of feeling at the moment, isn't it? But just to get a bit of atmosphere in as well, it just changes everything. Okay, it's not going to be the proper lighting as it would be in the proper show. It's going to keep it quite simple, but we just want to give an idea of what it could look like, because the sound's coming along fantastic and the music is terrific, I think. And, they're just incredible. They're just going, should we try this? Amazing. And there's some basic tunes that are not well known, but they're all quite traditional tunes as well. But they just play with them, you know what I mean? And it's just so clever. I'm in awe of musicians.
I'm like more an actor.
Dwi'n gerddor yn gyfansoddwraig ac yn artist o Bangor yn wreiddiol ac yn gweithio yng Nghymru ac wedi teithio y byd yn canu ac yn ysgrifennu caneuon. And I am today in Pendraw working with Cwmni Pendraw with a bunch of brilliant actors, artists and my fellow composer and school friend, Patrick Rhymes. With R&Ds usually, they're proper journeys where you delve into topics quite deeply and dismantle a lot of things. So in the context of this piece and the script and the text that we're working with is very much inspired by Eryri, Snowdonia, its relationship to tourists during the Victorian age. So Patrick and myself have been doing a lot of experimenting and playing around with old melodies, old folk melodies. I gychwyn efo, first and foremost, it's so wonderful after the year and a half that we've had to be in a space working with artists and to share a space with them. For me, working with Patrick feels very exciting and natural because the space that we're in now, Pendraw, used to be Theatr Gwynedd, and the last production before they bulldozed the building down would have been a Welsh language translation of West Side Story, in which Patrick and myself were in sixth form and performed. Probably the stage would have been somewhere here. So to journey from working on school musicals and school projects into doing something professionally with a local friend is very exciting in itself. To familiarise myself with Welsh songs that have disappeared or have been marginalised slightly due to their place in history and them not being such active, participating music in our lives now. Because Welsh text is, it's a whole different ball game. And there are so many. There's such an interesting way of working with language in this text.
My name is Manon. I'm an actress. I'm based in Bangor and I'm working on Ar y Creigiau Geirwan with Wyn and Iwan and Llyr, which is an experimental programme. It's a production hopefully that will come to fruition next year sometime. I went to Royal Welsh College in Cardiff, did my 3 years training, worked extensively in Welsh theatre, did a few other productions, Hinterland, worked for BBC, S4C, just that kind of thing. I have loads of different roles, to be honest, so loads of different characters. It's a kind of just see what happens along the way kind of production, different hats for different characters kind of thing at this point. Kate's been amazing. I've never done rope work before in my life. Yeah, I've developed my core strength. Yeah, it's just incredible to try something new and to work physically in a space with a group of actors. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we're able to come up with. I play a bit of piano, a bit of clarinet, but it's fab to have them on site with us and actually working, and it definitely adds a lot to the production, I think.
Fi di Iwan Charles a fo di
Llyr Evans.
A da ni'n actorion, da ni'n byw yn Gogledd Cymru, dwi'n byw yn Bethesda.
Dwi'n byw yn Felinheli ac aethon ni...
Enw'r sioe ydi Creigiau Geirwan, sydd adnabyddus o'r gan Oes Gafr eto. Ac mae o'n sôn am botanigwyr oedd yn hel blodau prin sydd mond yn tyfu yn ardal Eryri. Mae yna lot o flodau a planhigion prin iawn sy'n mond yn tyfu yn ardal Eryri a'r Creigiau Geirwan ar yr llethau serth Eryri, sy'n ddifyr ofnadwy.
A wedyn mwyn dangos ni yn dringo, Da ni wedi cael arbenigraig fewn sydd yn dawnsio efo rhaffau. Yna di gwaith i, a dyn mae hi wedi bod yn helpu ni efo sut i ddefnyddio'r holl rhaffau gwahanol. So yn y boreau i gyd, da ni mewn harnes
Sy'n dyn ofnadwy.
ac yn upsetio'r hogia bach yn y barracks. Ond, na, mae o'n hwyl, ond mae o'n, ti'n deffro'n bore yn stiff a ti'n defnyddio cyhyred, yn wedi defnyddio stalwm iawn.
Mae gen y ddau yn o'r blisters yn dechrau.
You know, these botanists first started coming back in the 15th, 16th century, then we go up really to the turn of the century, turn of the 20th century when the train was first introduced. And basically, there's no need then for the local knowledge, because, you know, they could pop up on the train, get off, find your flower and fuck off back to England.
Wedi oedi'n rhy hir yn hafarnau'r farchnad gefagos. Roedd mor dywyll gan nad oedd golau lleiad i olwyn o'i wythno.
Yeah, Monday, basically, I was getting the sounds together, whatever was needed, that Wyn already had. The songs between Patrick, me and Cassie were working out if I was going to be using pre-recorded songs or we were going to do the live stuff with them. We've done a lot less pre-recorded stuff, in a good sense really, because Cassie and Patrick have come up with some great stuff. So I'm basically, by now I'm mixing, lighting, getting Wyn plugged up for the projector, and then editing as well, all the sounds on the hoof, as you say. It's normal stuff really, and when you're working, you know, on a tight budget and in D&M, because you don't want the full, you never have the full crew anyway at those times. Touch wood, I haven't had any issues really. Yeah, it scares me that, because usually you do get glitches. Something's bound to go wrong, but no, fingers crossed. Well, I worked here for 4 years anyway, before, so I know my way around, which is very helpful. I think the Pontetech, you know, set up these for me, but the rest of it, like setting up the band, setting up my laptop and stuff, and then, you know, working out, which like when we went through the lighting with the techies in Ponte yesterday, they set up basic lighting for us, and then we've been winging it ever since.
Gawn ni hwnna, a wedyn aroswch tan bych chi'n gweld y gola yn newid, a wedyn dewch i fewn. Wedyn bydda ti a diwedd y darn lle da ni, faint o hwn da ni isio, oce?
Oes gafr eto, oes heb ei godro, ar y greigiau geiron mai, gen afr ffrwydro.
Here we're told the king's satanic, the law's his own, by means botanic. But there are guides who know it's true, its inmost part and master too, and folks who wish to go with these can walk the road with greatest ease. To guide elsewhere, there's many millions, there's none so good.
Rhoddwyd golau iddo, ac efe oedd Williams.
Why, did you show me this before? Under the guidance of John Hughes and found him to be a most intelligent guy.
I am basically extremely happy with everything that's gone on this week. It's gone far better than I had dreamt of, to be honest with you, because I thought there'd be far more problems. Kate is such an expert. They've just got the hang of it really quickly. And I mean, the difference between the rope work on the Monday compared to today is phenomenal. You know, as if, oh, we've always used these now, you know what I mean? A dwi'n arbennig o hapus hefyd efo'r gerddoriaeth. Mae Patrick Grimes a Cassie just wedi gwneud job gwych iawn o addasu rhai awgrymiadau gan Stephen Rees sydd yn cyfarwyddwr cerdd Cwmni Pendraw. A mae Stephen wedi gwneud yr awgrymiadau yma, maen nhw wedi cymryd yr awgrymiadau rhai ohonyn nhw a wedi just mynd efo fo, wedi gweithio efo fo, wedi gwneud o yn ei steil nhw ei hunan. A ddweud gwir, oedd Stephen yma amser cynio i glywed y cyneuon a oedd o'n hapus iawn efo be maen nhw wedi gwneud a dwi'n hefyd. A da ni'n edrych ymlaen rwan ar gyfer gobeithio cael arian ar Iannu taith y pryd. Does neb yn gwybod, mae'n dibynnu os di'r theatr yn agor, mae'n dibynnu ar sut mae Gyngor Celfyddydau yn sbio ar y prosiect, mae'n dibynnu ar gymaint o wahanol bethau, ond da ni yn gobeithio gallwn ni wneud taith go iawn o hwn rhywbryd yn y dyfodol. Be ddaw ni i lawr ym Pendraw.